Minecraft 26.2, the brand new update with a bunch of cool new blocks and features. And I'm going to show you a few ways you can use them to add a little bit of intricacy to your builds in this new update. So, firstly, we have this cute waterfall design. Now you can make the waterfall out of any materials you want. I just used stone, mossy cobblestone, and a bit of moss to make my scenery. But you can use any blocks you want, and what we're really looking at here is this effect that you can see in the water here. It looks like the waterfall is falling down and cascading. Now, I know with the geysers, they typically propel you up. Unfortunately, these don't. You can't get propelled up by them. So it's really just a visual aesthetic. And if you want to have more of this visual, you can always just remove these blocks. The only 4 things you need to make this work is a lava bucket, potent sulfur, which you can get from sulfur caves, and a water bucket, as well as blocks to build your waterfall. How are we actually going to build this? First, you're going to need a space for you to put the mechanism. Now this can be underground, underneath your waterfall. You don't want this showing. The particles are going to come out on top of this. You're gonna just put your lava at the bottom, potent sulfur in the middle, water at the top, and now we have a geyser. But if you don't want it to propel you up, you can add another block on top like this, making sure to leave 1 block room. And this will give you less particles and they won't push you up. Now the second build we have is actually using the sulfur cube mob. We're using them to create balloons. Unfortunately, you can't get these sulfur cubes in survival as they require commands to work properly. But this one's really fun, so let's see, how do we make it? Your sulfur cubes are going to act as the balloons here. So, however many balloons you want, that's how many sulfur cubes you're going to need. Same thing with these different colors that you can put in your balloons. You can put any color in your balloon. I just had these. You're going to need leads so that you can attach all of your balloons to a fence of any type. So let's actually build this. You're just going to place down your fence right here. Place down your sulfur cube right here and give him any block of your choice for the balloon, and go ahead and attach the sulfur cube to the fence post with your leash. Now from here it's going to get a little bit technical. I have this book here with the 2 commands we're going to need to actually turn the sulfur cube into a balloon. The first one is giving the cube invisibility. We see here these balloons are sulfur cubes, but they're invisible so that it just looks like a balloon and not this little guy just floating up there. Let's go ahead and type that out. / effect give all entities type equals sulfur cube, invisibility infinite 1 true. I know this is a little bit technical, but that's what you're going to do. And now your sulfur cube is invisible. And it just looks like a block that you can hit around. Pretty cool. But we're not done. I don't want a deflated balloon. I need the balloon to levitate. So that's right, we're going to do the exact same thing, but with levitation. And now our sulfur cube is levitating. And it looks like a balloon. You can do this with any sulfur cube, just you have to have commands to be able to do this trick. Alright, so this next one is a take on these sulfur springs that you can now find throughout your world. I know a lot of people liked them, but I personally found it a little bit lackluster, so I've decided to go ahead and make my own. Whether or not you find one of these springs out randomly in the wilderness, or you really just want a toxic sulfuric acid style build, or you're lucky enough to find one of these sulfur caves generating on the surface, you might just want to spruce up the place a little bit, maybe make it look a little bit more fancy, a little bit cooler, a little bit more sulfuric, you know? And that's where this build comes in. You can see here that I'm using small rings of sulfur pools with geysers inside them to make a sort of Yellowstone-y kind of vibe. Maybe for like a natural park or like a volcanic area, or even the same thing. This is really a great way to spruce up any sulfur-style build. So, let's get to actually building this. What I did when I built mine, I just kind of made, you know, some circles. Don't make them perfect circles, that looks weird, trust me. So just have some sort of shape like this, and then you can raise it up a bit, and connect them a little bit, and have a second shape. Like this. Try to make them like oval shaped, circle shaped, something around those lines, and then in the third one, you can just, you know, finish it off with one down here. And boom, you have your rings. Now with this, you can just fill in the bottom. I decided to add a little bit of a dip to mine just to make them look more like pools. You can fill these with water. And for the geyser part, you're just going to go ahead, mine out 2 blocks, put your magma on the bottom, and then a potent sulfur here. And that'll be a geyser. And you can do the same thing with all 3 of these. Around this pond, you can put stuff like your cinnabar, and throw some granite in there, and then maybe some tuff on the outside. Just giving it some stuff, kind of blend it in. And then you can add some sulfur spikes, which are pretty cool, around it to make it look very acidic, very sulfury, and just kind of a little bit cool. Alright, so for the 4th one, I actually went ahead and reused what I used for the waterfall back here, except now I'm using it as a chimney. And you see with this one, I'm actually combining it with a campfire to make a very nice smoke pattern like this. This one's pretty simple. You already know how to make what we used for the waterfall earlier. And this time, we're just switching it out for a furnace instead. So in this one, the building materials are going to be the same as before. With the lava, the potent sulfur, I used 2 water in this one because actually the more water you have on top of it, up to 3, and the higher it will go. Other than that, we're going to use our campfire here. I also have some flint and steel and netherrack for the fire at the bottom, and some stone bricks to actually make up the chimney. Now to build this, let's just make a quick, easy, and simple chimney design. Now we have some sort of furnace. So in this, we can go. Let's go ahead and put our lava here, our potent sulfur, and I'm only going to use 1 bucket of water for this one because it's a little bit shorter. And then on top of that, we're going to need another layer because remember, you have to keep 1 block of space. And then we put the campfire. And wow, look at that. It's a pretty nice chimney. Yes, the more water you put on it, the taller it will actually get. So if I were to put, say, 3 blocks of water, it would be very tall. And I'm not sure if the campfire would even be able to reach that high. I don't think it is. This could also be used for some sort of train engine, maybe. Any machinery, really, that puts off large amounts of steam. It's really just a really handy thing to know, to just have a nice plume of steam or smoke or anything of the sort. Now trust me, I have saved the best for last. Now these are slabs. You can even walk on them. But they're not actually slabs because there is no oak slab. I mean there's that. Does that count? But there are actually no oak log slabs. So you may be like, Smiter, how did you get these? And I will tell you, these are actually sulfur cubes that you can walk up and down. Now typically you can't actually walk on a sulfur cube, it doesn't work. And that's what I'm about to show you, how you actually can walk on these. So, To do this, you're going to need as many sulfur cubes as you want slabs. You're going to need a piston, a lever, and 3 walls for each sulfur cube you're going to do, and obviously blocks to put in the sulfur cube. So let's see how this works. We're going to go ahead and dig into the ground 2 blocks and place a wall at the bottom. Then we can go ahead and spawn in our sulfur cube, and I'm just going to do oak logs because that's what I did over there. And now we're going to go up here and make a piston facing downwards. We can go ahead and place our wall, push that down, place another wall, push that down, and then break this one as well as the piston. And now you can walk on this. And if you want to secure it a bit more, you can have a block there so you can walk on it. And once again, we're going to need to do the trick that we did over here with these balloons where we make the sulfur cube invisible. So unfortunately, this does not work in survival mode. And there we go. Now we have that, and you can walk up it because of the walls that we conveniently have inside of it. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely going to be using this waterfall design in a lot of my upcoming builds. So let me know what you think of this new update, and if you're excited for it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and bye!